Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy Claymore Lord. I know I haven't made a video in a minute. It's just, I had Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's Day, those happening. So I had a lot of stuff, plus my work and all that. But yeah, as the title say, I'm doing a Claymore Speaks on parenting. Now, before I even say anything, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I know I am not a actual parent myself. I get that because, of course, I don't have kids running around. Second, I know y'all are going to say, oh, if you're not a parent, you don't know nothing about being a parent, which, let me say this to both of those statements. First, I don't need to be on Mars to have an idea of what Mars kind of is. Based on what I've heard and I know. Sorry, trying to cross the road. And what I know, I can make a pretty good opinion based on it. And second, does it really matter? But yeah, getting into the video. Sorry, car's behind. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, being a parent is not, first of all, a dictatorship. It is not, you are a king and they're a slave. You, as a parent, you're not a master, per se. Yes, you may be a king, a queen, master, mistress, whatever you want to call yourself of your own home, but that's as far as it goes. No one parent is the superior in terms of authority to their child. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. When you're a parent, you are not there to dictate their life. You are there to guide their life. You are there to teach them in the ways that you want them to go. If you want them to be a decent person in society and help contribute and help, make the world a better place, you are teaching them. You are offering your wisdom to their, untrained mind on how to operate and live in the world that they just got introduced to. You are not there. If you're a teacher, you don't force your students to listen. If they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. That's the end of it. You can't force them. So with that being the case, you have to first look at yourself and see how you are portraying yourself to the child. It's irrelevant to what you think you're portraying yourself as, because to the child, it's up to them for their interpretation. And that's true in any situation, especially with my job at Sonic. What the customer sees compared to what is or what you're intending can be different. You could say hi and they could be thinking you're taking as a sexual advantage. To them, what you think you're doing is irrelevant. So back to what I was saying, being a parent, how you portray yourself is irrelevant, or how you think you portray yourself. So you have to look at your child as though, they're seeing you as whatever they're wanting to see you. If they see a man who is going out and working hard and getting his things, he's going to imitate that because he sees that whatever you're doing is working. And most kids have the basic concept as that if it works, it should be, you should do it. And I'll give you a personal experience to elaborate on that. My mom, she was a single mother for both me and my brother for like a good 2 years. And I saw her working at McDonald's to help support us. So I saw that and took inspiration because I'm like, this one person is working hard to take care of us too. So I went out and went around the neighborhood and raked up yards just so I could help out with some bills. Take a little load off my mom. So the second thing you have to realize, physical pain, basically I'm going to the spanking department. Spanking does not work. Personally experiencing that and more, it does not work. Because with all the discipline, physical discipline that I went through, I was a very violent person up until 16. I went to jail countless times due to fighting. Because when I was a kid, being constantly hit and seeing nothing done to the people that, were doing the hitting, I got the impression that, oh, if he can hit me and nothing happens to him, then I can hit others and nothing will happen to me. And sure enough, by 16, I had gotten into so many fights and so many times getting charged with any form of assault charges. It kind of dawned on me, I'm like, dang, you can't get away with it. And really, fighting gets you in trouble. And that's when I kind of straightened myself out. So, spanking does not work. Hitting your child, if anything, makes them more distant from you because they're unsure as to what you're gonna do. And yes, of course, some people are like, oh, spanking works. It's not because it works. It's because they don't want to be hit again, and they're trying to avoid you. So what they're doing is they're straightening up to keep you as far away from possible. So if I can go in there and clean up the kitchen and then not get hit, and I can go back to my room and without you bothering me, that means that's that much time that I no longer have to be around you. That's how I would see it if I was a child, and that's how a lot of kids do. Because that's what I did. I straightened up just so I didn't get hit, just so I can get away from the people who were hitting me. And the third thing is I want to say is alternate discipline methods are available. I could give you 5 that my family did that straightened me out for the most part when I was a kid. Whenever I talk back to my mom, my aunt put me in a dress, put fingernail paint, toenails, lipsticks, a whole 9 yards, and sent me to school. I tell you what, after that, I never badmouthed my mother again because I was so humiliated. My self-image to others were now destroyed. I even begged my mother at times when they would ground me or they would do, other methods to get me to straighten up, to literally whip me so I could get off that punishment because it was so devastating to my pride as a man or as a boy at the time, and I just hated being called names. So find a methods. Like one thing that I'm going to do that I know will work because it's so profound that I'm surprised no one really does this. But if my kid ever acts up, I'm going to get into his head that if he acts up, I'm going to shoot him with my mega Nerf guns. Now, granted, it does not leave no marks. It does not break no bones. It does not bleed. But the sudden jolt, and I know y'all gonna say, oh, it's physical pain. No, it's not. A quick Nerf bullet. Shoot yourself with a mega Nerf bullet at point blank. It stings, but it's not the sting that gets your attention. It's the sudden hit. It's like so sudden, and it don't even really hurt. It's just you don't expect it. When you're getting a whooping, if you're on the bus and you're about to get whooped because you got expelled or suspended, you're expecting the pain, and it makes it less effective if they expect it. If I do something and it's unexpected, it completely changes the perspective and the mindset and what people are thinking of me when it happens. So, like, basically in this whole message, just know being a parent does not give you the God-given right to beat your children. You are not a slave owner. You are a human being bringing up another human being into the world the way that you think they should. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, oh, well, if the Bible says if you spare the rod, you'll spoil the child. No. If you really look at the text and really go back behind it, when it says spare the rod, that does not mean an actual physical rod. it is literally saying spare the rod, meaning spare the discipline. When you let your child go undisciplined, you spoil the child. You make him ungrateful and unwilling to listen. And the way I know personally that the rod is not a physical object, it is a meaning of discipline, is when Moses used the rod, he did not strike at the water. He stuck it down and the water spread it apart. It basically split open, it cut in half. He set that thing down with authority and said, you will split, pretty much. Or technically God said it, but he's like, the water part ways. And it did exactly what it says, because the authority, when Moses presented that rod of authority, that's what made the water listen. And you got to realize, most kids their brain is like a sponge. What you feed them is going to be stuck in there. They're going to keep that. So if you tell your kids don't hit another person, but yet you go right back and hit someone, they're not going to take the message don't hit another person. They're going to take the message that my dad is a liar and it must be okay to hit people if he's doing it. See what I'm saying? So again, I know some of y'all are probably going to be upset. Some of y'all are going to probably be disagreeing with me. And that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I personally, don't care. I just believe in what I believe. But maybe for those who are willing to listen to this message, maybe they can be a better person, be a better parent, maybe teach their children better. And that's what I really aim for, is to help others, to help others. But anyways, this is boy Claymore, Lord. Peace.